Have you ever made a mistake that hurt someone who trusted you? That is the position I found myself in. I am the prince of Mamlakat al-Yakut, but for a long time I lived as a magical white horse. In my animal form, I was wild and demanding. I refused to eat grass, insisting instead on dates, almonds, saffron, and milk mixed with rosewater. If a guard tried to climb onto my back, I threw them into the dust. Then Princess Layla arrived. She did not use force to control me. She approached me with a steady bravery that calmed my temper. We built a bond of trust. She cared for me and spent her days at my side. Eventually, I let her leap onto my bare back so we could ride together for hours. But I was keeping a secret. Every night while Layla slept, I used a spell to drop my disguise and transform back into a man. I never told her who I was. I had her friendship, but I was living a double life. My hidden nature was about to test my character in a way Layla never expected. During those nighttime hours, I became captivated by Layla's maid, Samia. Specifically, I was focused on her long, dark hair. This scale weighs two values. On one side, a glowing heart represents Layla's loyalty and actions. On the other, a mirror represents Samia's appearance. The scale tips toward the mirror. I let a hairstyle outweigh genuine friendship. I chose the maid based on looks. One night, Layla found me in human form with Samia. I panicked, used magic to grab the maid, and fled to my kingdom. Judging people by how they look rather than how they act destroys the connections that matter. Layla put on warrior's clothes and rode a horse into the dense, unmapped forests. She traveled alone, determined to find where I had gone. When she reached my kingdom, she disguised herself as a traveler who made floral jewelry. Her intelligence allowed her to walk directly into my palace unnoticed. She waited until she was asked to style Samia's hair. Then she took out scissors and cut off the long braid I had valued. I returned to find the hair gone. Layla had left a note in the room, proving she had outsmarted me in my own home. Without the hair to look at, I realized Samia had no real character to offer. I cast her out of the palace to wander on her own. Appearance can be lost in a few seconds with a pair of scissors, but bravery and cleverness are permanent strengths. True beauty lived in Layla's bravery, not in a hairstyle. I finally saw the scale for what it was. I wrote a formal apology and traveled back to Layla's kingdom. I went there to face her directly. When we met in her Ardens, I kept my head bowed. I told her I was in the wrong and did not offer any excuses for what I had done. Layla forgave me because I showed the integrity to admit my fault and face the consequences of my actions. Judge others by their actions, not their looks. If you make a mistake, have the courage to apologize. Turning into a horse is a trick, but honesty is the most powerful form of magic.